The most influential games of all time. Every once in a while on Twitter/X, it will prompt a thread that may not necessarily be viral in my opinion, but it does, have my interest. Viral X post ranks top 10 most influential video games of all time. And the post was from this guy, Callie D. Mack. Just a clean little, on his notepad, made it top 10 most influential games of all time. Super Mario Bros., Minecraft, GTA 5, Fortnite, Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, Final Fantasy 7, Tetris, COD, MW2, Super Mario Bros. Melee, World of Warcraft. His honorable mentions, so games that he couldn't put in the top 10. Dota, OW, Metal Gear, Silent Hill, Quake, Kingdom Hearts 2. Some people like Asmongold popped in, was like, hey, I think Halo 2 should be instead of MW. And he thinks Super Mario Bros. 3 was long-term influential than the first one. Ackman thinks it's hilarious that he put Dota instead of Warcraft 3. And I'll get into the opinions. I want to kind of go through this. So when someone says influential, does it mean influence on the players? Does it mean influence on the culture of gaming? Does it mean influence on the creators of these games? You could take influence and shapeshift it into multiple ways that would make this outcome different. I think that when you talk about influence, I think if you could just generalize it, you would have to say these were games that impacted the world, so the culture, and they spawned something in gaming. So whether that was a genre, whether that was an IP that is now something that we still play today. If I was to make my own list, it would mirror some of these, to be honest. Like there's honestly, I don't think there's a wrong top 10. I do think there's some games that need to be in there based on influence. This isn't your top 10 favorite games. This isn't your top 10 niche games that you're a weird freak about. These are just top 10 games that society has deemed games that would be, necessary, and we wouldn't have certain games today, or wouldn't have certain culture, wouldn't have certain events, you wouldn't have certain things because of these games existing. So, with that said, when I go to the first list, I go back to it, like right off the bat, Super Mario Brothers, whichever Super Mario game you want to pick, one of them has to be on this list. I think a Super Mario, and yet again, this is my opinion, I think a Super Mario game has to be on there. Mario is the face of Nintendo. So, it's like we're talking about most influential Super Mario. We got to have a Mario brother in the list. So Super Mario Brothers, I'm not mad at that. You could go through every single Mario game and say, oh, this one or that one, more favorable than the others. Super Mario's got to be on there. Minecraft also has to be on there. It's absolutely, undoubtedly the most played game, most known game on the planet. GTA 5. I mean, yeah, you could pick any of the GTAs. You could argue San Andreas because it was like the first, three-dimensional, 3D, third-person, open world GTA that we had. Fortnite, yet again, gotta be on the list. Some of these are just absolutely undeniable games that are extremely popular today. They changed gaming. Like Fortnite, the Fortniteification of games is because of Fortnite. If it wasn't for that game, I don't think Battle Royales would be as popular. I think without that game, we wouldn't have these absolutely insane crossovers that we're seeing today that plague us in many ways. Like Call of Duty has been plagued by Fortnite because of all their insane skins and insane crossovers that they have. There has to be a Legend of Zelda, of course. Another absolute insane Nintendo IP. It could have been a Majora's Mask, Ocarina of Time. It doesn't matter. One of the Legends of Zelda's got to be on there. Final Fantasy. Now, this is one that I never played any Final Fantasies. I have no knowledge of Final Fantasy, but I understand how popular it is. It's absolutely insane. So, of course, there's one on the list. Tetris. See, I started thinking about this. I think that this list, gaming didn't start 25 years ago. Video games have been around since the 70s. When was the first game? So yeah, I mean, we didn't get home consoles. We didn't start getting video game consoles till the 70s. And that's what I'm referring to. Like, obviously we had, Pong and tennis a little bit before that. And there were arcade machines. But when I think about video games, I think about like video game consoles and the induction of that and bringing it into the home. And Tetris. You could talk about Pong. And I started to like go back and I think like okay, so for example, Pac-Man. I said Pong. You know, uh, these are games that no one really thinks about today, but like they pioneered. They were the first. They did influence games going down the road. So let's go back to the list. COD MW2. It could have been any of the CODs. Modern Warfare 2 was extremely influential. You could argue Call of Duty 4 would be the one because it was the first. It was revolutionary at the time. COD had historically been a World War II game, and then all of a sudden now we're playing Modern Warfare. It was unbelievable. Next gen graphics, their create a class. I mean, I have a lot of experience playing COD. I played almost all the CODs, so to me that one has to be on the list. A Call of Duty has to be on the list. I thought it was interesting, and he slapped on Smash Bros in there as well. I think you do have to slip in a fighter somewhere. There has to be a fighting game somewhere, whether that's Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter. I don't know that Super Mario, Smash. I don't know that one eclipses a Mortal Kombat or a Street Fighter or a Tekken or whatever you have. I do think there needs to be a fighter on this list. And then World of Warcraft. I mean, World of Warcraft might be a top 3 game of all time. I didn't play a lot of it, but I understood like the cultural impact that World of Warcraft had, the strangle that it had on its player base, and how long it's reigned as this godfather of MMORPGs. I mean, yeah, you got to have a World of Warcraft on there. They're obviously not doing as good as they were years ago. They're having quite a fall off. But this is like one of those things where like you could sit here and mix ground up 10 different top 10s, 100 top 10 lists, and you're never going to get the same answer. Some will blend across. I Googled list of best-selling all time. Minecraft's the best-selling game of all time. 350 million copies. That's across mobile and iPads and console and PC. Grand Theft Auto. I thought it interesting. Wii Sports, because it was bundled with the Nintendo Wii. Wii Sports is on there. Do I think Wii Sports is a most influential game? Not really. Like, Wii Sports was just kind of like a game that exists because we needed to showcase. Nintendo needed to showcase how the Wii worked and what it was capable of. And Wii Sports really did that, in my opinion. Mario Kart. Yet again, it's like, okay, do we go through and just give all the Marios, Red Dead, PUBG, the Oregon Trail, Terraria? I could sit here and go through all these lists. The Sims, Pokemon. And that was one that I thought was interesting. I think a Pokemon has to be on here. The trading card game is by far the most popular. Pokemon cards right now being the most popular thing in the world right now. But a Pokemon game, I think, needed to be on this list. And it's hard, like, if I was to sit here and make my own list. Okay, so, there's got to be a Pokemon. All right, let's do this. So there needs to be a Pokemon. There needs to be a Mario. Minecraft has to be on there. RuneScape's one that I think got overlooked. I think RuneScape is extremely popular and overlooked on this one. RuneScape needs to be on this list. WoW's on the list. I think one of the fighters need to be on there. Now, is it Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat? Both of those, in my opinion, are extremely influential fighter games. I guess I could split it Mortal / Street Fighter. Obviously 2 different games, but I think one of those has to be on the list. Fortnite, obviously. GTA, one of those. COD. Halo, I think, is one that needs to be on the list just because of how it basically was the poster child, the game that shipped with the Xbox 360, and the Xbox. So like it carried generations for the Xbox. So Halo has to be on this list. What is that? So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, so that list, in my opinion, you could do that. And then obviously, like I said, the older games that came before these games, like Doom, like like Tetris, Pong, all these games, like you could put honestly, it's nearly impossible to make a top 10. You should do like a top 50 games, then you could really start getting it to where you can narrow it down. But I think that's your top 10 for me personally. That's my opinion. These franchises need to be on the list. And I think that these are fun. Like, this isn't something new. And honestly, like, something that I think about is, how games have influenced other games, how we've gotten to where we are now. I think we're entering into a golden era, a golden age of gaming right now. It feels like there's so many good games, so many AAA titles are having to be released polished. Gamers aren't putting up with crap anymore. It's really nice to see. So, with that said, there you go, guys. There's my top 10. I think that's a solid list. People are obviously going to argue against that one, but you could argue against any of them. So anyway, that's it, guys. I just wanted to talk about this. I thought it was interesting. It was fun to go through it. It was fun to think about all the games that now it may not necessarily play, but influenced me or influenced the culture, influenced gaming. So anyway, guys, that's it. Thanks.